Hey there, Postal here. Today we are taking out the Ki-94-I. This was actually a plane that I won over the weekend. Seems to be my theme for the week. I'm going against a bunch of bots, which is kind of weird. I mean, I know it's kind of early. It's 7:40 a.m. I haven't even had my freaking coffee. But you gotta squeeze in a video when you can.
Off we go.
So what is this plane? Well, it's Tier 7 Japanese Premium Heavy. And this might be like a great map for it. We're gonna find out. Just because it's only got 2 small bombs. And so they're really there for like supplemental reasons more than anything else. But this plane is not about the small bombs. No, this plane makes up for small bombs by having big honking stupid guns. Okay, I'm gonna just keep going forward. This plane's accuracy makes a BF-109Z look like a freaking sniper. This plane here has 2 30mm cannons, okay, and 2 37mm cannons, combined to have the accuracy of freaking 6-month-old baby. It is not going to be going well for you. So, the goal of this plane is not necessarily to be the most accurate. The goal of this plane is to try to put out as much crap on the wall as you can, and see how much of it sticks. This plane is also incredibly unmaneuverable. Yeah, Tier 7 heavies aren't necessarily known for their maneuverability. But this is the least maneuverable of the bunch. The T1 is the only plane that's less maneuverable. And that's saying something. Well, of course it's saying something, Postal. Everything is saying something. But my goal with this plane is not to set up an accurate plane. My goal with this plane is to see how much damage I can output and let the bullets land where they may. So there's definitely a case to be made to just tap your guns. They overheat pretty quickly. God dang, this thing turns so slowly. Let's just keep on moving. I'm not gonna turn. I'm gonna use my boost. Get up and over. And it looks like we should be okay here. Yeah, I missed all my shots, so that's a little less okay. Or maybe I set him on fire. I did! I set him on fire! That's hilarious. Alright, so we will boost and go. Hit the old F7 button. Literally nothing I can do about a multi-roll on my tail. The only plane I am more maneuverable than out of the box is a TU-1. I don't count GAs and bombers, of course, because, well, you don't count them in a maneuverability contest. And so, you know, you've got these huge freaking guns that hit and you don't even know it. Except other than the guy's hit points disappeared. I'm gonna drop some bombs over here, right? Let's drop some bombs. These bombs actually seem to reload pretty quickly. What's the reload time? 2 minutes? That's not too bad for a heavy, all things considered. Aim further out. So he's coming straight at us. Probably not the smartest move. For your own reference, don't head on a Ki-94-I. You can see how hard these hit. This is kind of, it's basically it's a weird plane, right? But if you've played the XP-58, if you've played the BF-109Z, it's like a mixture of those two planes as far as the guns are concerned. And so that should tell you just how wonky they can be. And do keep in mind, I simply have this, out of the box equipment. I haven't spec'd or upgraded anything. Clearly I haven't spec'd anything. I don't, I've only played it a handful of times. didn't want those to hit anyway. I suspect that's going to be some of the more difficult planes to hit because these guns are on the wing. When planes get up close, smaller planes, fighters get up close, they kind of squeeze in between the bullets. You really want to have your target farther out and large. Like that. Alright, let's head on to the center. I'm just cruising around here. I feel in pretty good control of the situation. Just double checking. I am in an all bot situation. Yes. Ooh, GAs, huh? I'd like to think this plane would just love some GA. Tasty little breakfast going on there. Okay, so we'll drop our bombs again. Just gonna drop both of them. I haven't tested out if one bomb would do or not. It's not really the point at this point. I'm trying to hit a plane that I knew was going to be difficult to hit. We just keep on keeping on here. Ow. Freaking yaks, man. Now I'm dead because now I don't have a engine. You'd think having one engine would be good enough to at least hold me over. So that's pretty disappointing. Somehow survive that? That's less than disappointing. But I mean, hey. Who am I to tell Wargaming how to set up their planes? Guess I'm somebody. Alright, so we've got this XP-50 we're going to try to get knocked out. It's got a Ki-94-I. Both of these planes can be pains in the butt for sure. Not a lot I can do about that. Other than try to get my guns on target quicker. It kind of stinks. I wish I would have died when I thought I was going to die, rather than avoiding all those Yak 9U guns. Let's head on over to this garrison. We'll cap it out if we can. Only knocked out 8 targets, but that's fine. Still getting used to this. Really, again, I'm getting the feeling you want to keep your targets at decent angle, decent distance. And I haven't lived by my mantra for most of this battle, which is when in doubt, aim further out when you've got 30mm cannons, right? And considering I've got 2 30mm cannons and 2 37mm cannons. Alright. Considering this plane turns like a box of rocks.
Victory is in sight. Keep it up.
Right, so here's that A7M that could prove to be a pain in the butt. Can't hit him. Just moving along here. Ki-61's probably a little bit higher than he should be. Excellent. Let's see what we can do against these 2 heavies that are hanging out with each other. Alright, so I guess 37mm cannon's stuck there. Knocked out his engine, luckily, but otherwise I'm in trouble versus this Ki. Simply because he can outturn me. Don't have that same flexibility that a lot of other heavies would have. He's got a ridiculously long distance 57mm cannon, which can probably still hit me even though I'm 4,200 feet away. Dang it, that sucked. Obviously, didn't need you guys to. Didn't need me to tell you that. Luckily, the Ki-93 got bored of me. And I guess we're gonna move on over to here, huh?
Almost all enemy aircraft are destroyed.
Yeah, A7M that I left alive. So let's go ahead and we're gonna drop a couple bombs. Oh, we're not. Where is he? Where you at? There we go. Perfect. That's one way to end a battle.
Proud of you, pilots. Head back home.
Alright, so we were able to get 14 frags there. No bombers, just that one GA, so we weren't able to get a grade 1. A lot of capture points. We captured 5 sectors. You know, but that's what this plane's built for. You've got those 2 bombs. Throw those bombs out. Help you capture a sector. Yeah, this was all garrisons, but you get the idea, right? Alright, so I've actually got a second battle. I wasn't planning on necessarily doing a second battle, so it's going to kind of seem like it's its own battle. The goal basically wasn't to have 2 plane flights here for you. But I like this gameplay. It's kind of the opposite of the last gameplay, and we were still able to have an impact on the battle. And so I wanted to show it. So we'll roll right into it. Let's do that. So what is this plane? This is a Tier 7 Japanese heavy fighter. And it's pretty unique in that it misses all its shots. It certainly can miss all the shots when you're attacking light fighters. These guns here are 2 30mm and 2 37mm cannons, and they're mounted on the wings. So as you can see, the chance to miss little tiny planes like Zeros here, I'm not even going to try to get him, it's pretty high. This plane is definitely much better at taking out bigger targets, wider targets. Bombers, heavy fighters, ground attack planes for sure. Light fighters, it can do, but it's got to be a light fighter that's wanting to get killed, basically. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to move along to the mining facility. Try to get ourselves to a decent altitude. Besides the ginormous cannons on this plane, especially for Tier 7, but just ginormous cannons in general. The other thing this plane is known for is its lack of maneuverability. It's really quite odd. It's, you know, considering that the Japanese fighters, even heavy fighters, are known for their maneuverability. To have a plane like this that's so unmaneuverable is pretty odd, right? Let's see what we can do versus a Tier 8 bomber. Well, we can certainly tear him up. We still overheated. We killed him, so that's pretty cool. My first test run against an RB-17. Got the engine knocked out. Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but I mean, I guess it's to be expected against an RB-17, right? C against the JU-288A. This is not a plane I'm overly scared of in any way, shape, or form. Wow, the Ki tends to lose a lot of airspeed at altitude, huh? Definitely want to be aiming pretty darn far out, considering, you know, when in doubt, aim further out just with 30mm cannons. With 37mm cannons, it's more of the same. Engine knocked out again. Yeah, I'm definitely going to, when I specialize this plane, put a manual engine restart in here for sure. Alright, so they've capped our freaking garrison. How genius is that? What are we going to be able to do? Unfortunately, I think I've lost so many hit points with my with that attack on the RB-17 that I don't know if I'm... Nope. All by myself? Nope. I don't need to be all by myself. Let's go ahead and we'll head back this way. Got that RB-17. Not sure I can actually do anything against him, but I'm going to try. So all you can do is try. He's gonna try to get his rear gunner on me. Question is, who kills who first? Ha! Well, that makes me feel pretty good about the output of this plane. Just making sure that you've got your guns on target. You know, that your guns are actually hitting. You'll do okay. Man, the engines get knocked out quite a bit, especially versus, well, I mean, I guess I was going to say that's versus RB-17 type of planes. But the fact of the matter is I got knocked out versus JU-288 as well, so... Got a little bit more time with this plane, so I'm going to actually take my time. There we go. XP-58 inbound, which can probably outmaneuver me. Oh, this would be the time to put the pneumatic control assist, huh? No, maybe not. Let's see if I can. Nope. Oh well. We're gonna lose the mining facility. Of course, literally nobody else is over there. So let's see what we can do with that. Where is our GA? Hopefully he's trying to get the... oh, he must be over by the command center here. Might just need to get... So I haven't had my wing knocked out this game, but still, like, the pneumatic control assist has not been very helpful in any battles I've had.
There. You'll soon be cut off from support. I'll say again, support will not be available.
Yeah, that guy knocked out, so our bombers will be valid. Drop some bombs. See if we can get our guns on target onto a light fighter here.
The command centers are under our control.
Let's see what we can do versus the mining facility. I don't think I can get there in time to actually save it. But we'll see. Nope, definitely not.
That's it. There's no way to break through.
Alright, so let's go ahead and knock out some... There's a multi-roll of some sort over here. Yes, see if we can knock him out just because he's here. We can definitely get the GAs pretty easily, I would like to think. So let's go ahead and get those guys. Excellent. We got this guy, we need to slow down actually. Excellent. Let's see what we can do versus said GAU. Looks like we might have this one in the bag, boys. Continue onward. I'm only going for him because he's right here. I can't really, well, I guess I got 2 bombs, but I can't really do too much versus the mining facility. We've got enough going in there, right? Point overkilling that. I can try to help save our command center at the least, and knock out a bomber for the squall line. Let's see what we can do here versus the I-250. Wasn't sure if it was 220 or 250. Got the mining facility anyway, and this 250 is trying to go for our bomber, so he's not yet paying attention to me. I'm at a higher altitude than I really want to be, I suppose, but we'll see. And I'm going against a light fighter, which is going to be just kind of a pain in the butt for my guns anyway. Ah! I was hoping to get him knocked out. So, I mean, pretty good game. We did more in that game to win by killing the ground attack planes and the bombers than we did by, you know, capturing sectors. So here's for our second battle there. We had the, got a grade 1 there. We did more damage versus bombers and ground attack planes, which is what really won us that particular battle. By being able to kill that RB-17 actually twice, we were able to hold off the mining facility. We only ran into the XP-58 once and got our butt handed to us. As you would expect, I suppose. They're kind of the same plane, except the XP-58 is going to just be better in general, I would think. But, so instead of, you know, going from sector to sector, capturing sector to sector, in this battle, we were actually doing the opposite by killing the bombers and ground attack planes that we couldn't kill in the last battle. But it kind of shows you the two different strengths of this plane. But it also definitely shows you the weaknesses of this plane. I gotta send a GG to this guy here. And a GG to Jim. Yeah, but I really, really like this plane either way. It's just a fun Tier 7 heavy fighter. And there tends to be quite a lot of them. That are premium planes. The VB-10's really good. The TU-1's really good. The XP-75 is probably the worst of the four of them, in my opinion. Only because the guns are so weak compared to everybody else that we're looking at here. But the XP-75 has a lot more going for it when it comes to its airframe than some of the other planes have. So, I mean, that's going to, I guess, be the biggest difference. And just to like push the point home, here's all the Tier 7 heavy fighters that are, you know, here's the three tech tree, you know, four tech tree heavy fighters that are in the game. And then there's even a handful of premium planes to compare to the Ki-94. Ki-94, your overall maneuverability. And again, we're not expecting it to be great as a heavy fighter. But, I mean, just to push home, the XP-75 significantly better with maneuverability. F7F, slightly better, but still better. So if you get caught out by an F7F, your goal is not to try to outturn it, is to try to outspeed it and hope you can make it away. TU-1, the one plane. This is the plane, and you're only barely more maneuverable than it. 16 seconds, 15.5 seconds, right? Rate of roll, you're slightly better. Yeah, the TU-1's not known for its maneuverability. You've got slightly more airspeed than a TU-1, but remember this plane can snippety snipe. So, kind of like the Ki-93, you want to find a way to get far away from it. BF-109Z. It's it's basically a light fighter that's fused together. And so yeah, it's going to have slightly better maneuverability. Ki-93, I already showed you that you're less maneuverable than that. Hornet, you're less maneuverable than a Hornet, right? So what's that tell you? And a VB-10, certainly less maneuverable than that plane. And so, your mentality has to be, like, the joke with quotes around it is, heavy fighters don't engage, don't do turn fights. I'll still turn fight from time to time in most heavy fighters, just as the situation determines. I noticed that I turn a lot less in this plane, just because there's not a whole hell of a lot of a point. Yeah, that's. I mean, there's not really more to it. So as far as my setup on this plane is concerned. Well, let's just look at the guns first of all. So you've got the two 30mm guns, you've got the two 37mm guns. Both of them have the same firing range, which is nice. It's pretty low, which is, it's short. It's 1,900 feet, which is what, maybe 600 meters, I guess. So it's not very short. I mean, not very long, excuse me. And so you've got a combination of not being able to get your guns on target because of maneuverability, and not being able to get your guns on target because of distance. And so you really need to play the plane in that manner and be aware of that. Not to say that the plane can't do well, as I showed you, it did pretty well there, right? And then here we've got our two 250 kilogram bombs. Yeah, so my goal is just to get as many bullets as I can out. Right now I've got that set up with the bolt carriers. That allows my burst length to be a little bit longer. Oh, I did upgrade these. Whoops, my bad. I must have moved it to improved last battle. Whoopsie. Once I specialize this plane, I'm not going to be putting long-range barrels on here. Excuse me. I'm actually going to be putting GOA on here. Yeah, both of these take away from accuracy, but you know, I don't care. Again, my goal is just to throw as much crap at the wall as I can. I'll hopefully counteract the accuracy with my sight, or at least balance it out. Again, it's just if I can put out a wall of bullets, I think it'll do better. I've also set up, gone, for more speed. I'm not even going to try to help the maneuverability. It's kind of a waste if you put lightweight power unit on here. The engine's resistance to damage is already kind of poor, so making it even worse is not going to be good. But the benefits of this are not going to be as significant as an airspeed boost. So 2% of 64 is better than 2% of 32, right? So, get that airspeed boost is my thought on the process. As far as consumables are concerned, pretty standard on the consumable layout. I haven't noticed my wings getting knocked out all that often. In fact, typically the engine and the wings get knocked out at the same time. And because I'm not putting a manual engine restart on this plane, there's no point right now in putting an emergency control system. Now I might change that because I just don't use the pneumatic control assist with this plane. I suppose if I got into a situation that I just knew I couldn't get out of against a plane that I knew I could outmaneuver with pneumatic control assist, so basically against something like a Hornet or an F7F or maybe a Ki-93, probably not actually. Maybe a Ki-93, we'll leave it at that. Tu-1 obviously as well. One of those planes that I can either barely outmaneuver already or I might be able to barely outmaneuver with the pneumatic control assist, I might use it. I've got it in there right now, I might change it out if I just don't use it. Engine cooling is really kind of a necessity at this point. Once I specialize it, I'll probably put improved mixture control on here. I might go the manual engine restart. I get my engine knocked out once a game, but the engine does tend to get knocked out if you get people behind you. So it's just another reason not to turn. Just keep going so that way nobody can get behind you. And then universal ammo, of course, just because I always put universal ammo. So that being said, I really actually like this plane quite a bit. The guns are still very wonky, so they're unpredictable. Being unpredictable means, there was that one plane that I shot and it died after it passed me. There's a couple of shots I put out where planes were insta-dead. But then there's also a lot of shots, as you saw, that, I missed every damn shot against that A7M one pass. Or that Yak-9U for that matter. And so, you have to realize that you take the good with the bad. The bad is there's going to be times, especially early on, if you haven't specialized and if you haven't boosted all the equipment to max, there's going to be times where those guns are just going to do what they want. And you just have to deal with that because there's going to be times where there should have been no reason that 37 mil cannons hit a plane, but they did, and you took them out. So there's the good with the bad. I've put my Ki-93 pilot in here. I would recommend having a pilot that has Engine Guru and definitely Marksman as the things to work towards. My Ki-93 pilot right now, because he's not on his third point, I just put cruise flight. I will be putting Marksman 2 on my Ki-93 pilot, which is a swell skill to put on a Ki-94-1. Accuracy is definitely needed with cannons like this. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do you have the same assessment of this plane? Have you purchased this plane? Like I said, was able to get it thanks to bunch of crates that Red got for me on the stream this last weekend. And yeah, so I was really surprised I got this particular plane. Wasn't expecting it. Of course, you're not really expecting anything. You're just hoping. I was hoping for the F-82. But this plane is, I'm really glad I got it. I've heard nothing but good things, and those good things are completely accurate. It's a very fun plane. It wouldn't necessarily be my first plane to choose, but I'm glad I've got it, and it's a fun plane for me as a pilot. And it fits a niche play style for sure. And I hope these games are entertaining for you. If you have the Ki-94-1, do you play it the same way? Do you have the same setup that I've got here? Or have you gone out of your way to do a different setup? Do you find different tactics to be better than I'm utilizing here? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this mini review was helpful. I'll certainly get a better one out once I've played the plane a lot more. But I just wanted you guys to see, and I wanted to show it off a little bit. Have a great day, and I'll see you out on the battlefield. Bye.